If that was you on the phone and you on the bus, then who was flickering the lights?
This is FYF Sportsman, it's Lamont, and we are back with some breaking news. Definitely had to drop this information on you guys as soon as I heard it because it has major implications on the NBA playoffs involving the best player in the league, LeBron James. Before we get to that information, make sure you guys smash the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get all of the latest updates whenever we drop these videos with breaking news information. Remember, we come with the most unique takes, with the most unique perspectives in the game. So make sure you follow FYF Sports, not just on YouTube, but on all social media platforms, man. But today, man, the news just dropped about an hour ago. The news just dropped that Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James was found in breach of the NBA's health and safety protocol this week, a league spokesperson told ESPN on Friday night. And this was reported by Dave McMenamin of ESPN. Now, Dave McMenamin further went on to detail James was one of several high-profile guests present at a promotional event for the Lobos 1707, a tequila brand that LeBron James backs. And it happened earlier this week before the Lakers play-in game against the Golden State Warriors. Wow. Now it says the tequila was poured at a brief outdoor photo shoot, and invitees, including recording artist Drake, Michael B. Jordan, and a number of other high-profile guests, had to produce proof of vaccination or recent negative test results in order to attend. So again, maybe the precautions that this event took, that may weigh on how the NBA decides on this. But again, the NBA has been really strict on these things, and we're going to go detail the NBA's rules and regulations on this later. But you know, they further indicate that even with these measures, James, who has declined to say whether he's received the COVID-19 vaccination, was found in violation of the league's health and safety protocols. It's a violation of the agreed upon protocols, and as we have in other comparable instances around the league, it has been addressed with the team, a league spokesman told ESPN on Friday. Now, James and the number 7 seeded Los Angeles Lakers are set to play the Phoenix Suns, the number 2 seed, in Game 1 of the playoffs, first round series Sunday, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So the NBA has about 24 hours to figure out what they are going to do with LeBron James. But man, it doesn't look good for LeBron James. So what I did was, to really get a, I don't know if the NBA left a door open for leeway. If some of these events or potential protocol violations, if some of these organizations or activities, if they're going to extraneous links to make sure that everyone involved in these outside NBA functions are COVID free, if they don't have the virus, if all of the guests are vaccinated or bringing the registered test, will that play a factor in this book? Let's read a memo. So what we're going to do is remember, I want you guys to remember that in December, the NBA dropped the hammer with new guidelines and punishments for breaching the COVID-19 protocols. All right. We know the commissioner, Adam Silver, was very strict about these protocols. And I'll read to you what he outlined to all 30 teams. So outlined in a memo that he sent to all 30 organizations, the league for the first time provided details of the protocols that are deemed essential in limiting the spread of the COVID-19 virus during the season. All right. And he made it clear. Adam Silver made it clear. Any failure to follow the protocols. So this rule that the NBA has does not leave any leeway if this if this special event, even if they're taking the most advanced precautions possible to ensure everybody attending these outside functions are fully healthy and they don't have the virus, it doesn't matter. Adam Silver clearly stated in his memo to the NBA, any failure to follow the protocols would lead to substantial punishment. Among the penalties are fines and suspensions for individual players in violation of the policies. Additionally, potential loss of draft picks for organizations who fail to report rule breaking. Wow. So, I mean, if you look at the memo that Adam Silver sent to the NBA and all NBA teams and all NBA players, and this is something that the NBA Players Association also agreed upon as well, Adam Silver did not leave any leeway as to the flexibility of how they could decide upon these different instances. Like throughout the entire year, whenever we've heard of situations with players potentially violating protocol, regardless of how small or how big, those players had to go in isolation for 14 days. We saw it with Kyrie Irving. We saw it with a number of other stars. We just saw it with Dennis Schroeder. And now, unfortunately, this situation has struck the Los Angeles Lakers at the most, at the most unfortunate time as well, going into their first round playoff game on the road against the Phoenix Suns. Wow. This memo also further states, it says, while the memo settles most of the outstanding issues between the league and the Players Association, they have yet to come up on a resolution for a potential vaccine. And we know that the NBA has come up with a new ruling to where if 85% of your team is vaccinated, then your team and the players who are vaccinated can get some additional permissions. But remember, LeBron James has been hesitant to indicate if he's been vaccinated, one. And two, we know for certain that 85% of the Los Angeles Lakers roster is not vaccinated. So even if he was vaccinated, those special circumstances would not apply to LeBron James in this particular case. So, wow. I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you think about this particular situation. This is big time news for the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's finally gotten healthy. LeBron James coming back from a devastating ankle injury. Anthony Davis dealing with that calf injury all season. Dennis Schroeder dealing with his own injuries as well. I mean, we're talking about a Laker team that struggled just to get to this 7th seed. And just barely held on in a playing game against this Golden State Warriors. Now they have to deal with a potential significant loss to their star player LeBron James. And I told people in the live stream earlier. The NBA is in a situation because they have not granted flexibility to any other player on this particular issue. There's absolutely no way that they can grant LeBron James any particular favors as far as not sitting him down for the standard 10 to 14 day time frame because of this issue. Now, the only favor that he can be granted is that he gets the minimum punishment, which is going to be a 10 day quarantine, as opposed to a 14-day quarantine. So I want you guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this situation? How do you think the NBA is going to rule on this? Because the NBA has very little time to decide on how they're going to move forward with this. The NBA has a lot of things that they have to look forward to. Obviously, they have to consider the health and safety of players. All right, I know the Phoenix Suns are going to really be adamant about LeBron James not playing. Not only that, they have to look at the business side of this. I mean, we're talking about a season coming off of a last year where the NBA lost so much money. You finally have a playoff series where you got fans, even if it's not at full capacity. You got fans in the seats. LeBron James, number 7 seed, playing the Phoenix Suns, number 2 seed. Supposed to be one of the best playoff matchups that we've seen in a while. And then this happens. I mean, COVID-19 does not, anybody can fall in COVID-19's crosshairs. And it looks like LeBron James fell into those crosshairs And the Lakers, for the most part, the Lakers did a great job of staying out of that potential COVID protocol this year. We know Alex Caruso had a slight issue, and he had to sit out some games. He had to deal with it. I think one other player, but they didn't really have any major players other than Dennis Schroeder have to sit out for the protocol. I think they did one of the best jobs managing players and keeping everyone within the scope of those rules. And then now this happens. Man, the timing of this is crazy. But the implications of this can go two ways. The NBA can say, you know what, screw it. The business side of this does not favor us sitting LeBron James for 10 days. And maybe they can come up with some new stipulations that may allow him to play. Or Adam Silver can put the hammer down, as I expect him to do, and say, LeBron James, even though you're the best player in the league, your time is here. You have to sit. You have to sit for at least 10 days, and that's gonna be most of this series. You know, by the time 10 days is up, the Lakers could be down 3-1. The Lakers could be in a hole that they can't come back from. You know, can AD do it by himself without LeBron James? Can this team hold on? You know, can they still steal a game in Phoenix, get to LA, hold the fort down until this man comes back, or is the NBA gonna capitulate to the side of LeBron James, all right, manipulate and finagle some rules so this man can still play, all for the love of money? A lot of things are going to come down over the next 24 hours. I'll definitely be watching, regardless of what the decision is. We'll definitely be speaking on it. We'll definitely be coming out to report on it. But as the news stands right now, LeBron James is in violation of the NBA COVID-19 protocols. And a decision will have to be made over the next 24 hours if he can play in this playoff series or not. Make sure you guys comment. You know, let me know what you think about this particular situation. What do you think the NBA is going to do? And man, it's just, like I said, devastating news for the Los Angeles Lakers after coming off a win against the Golden State Warriors and that high. I think, you know, geez, you know, just the timing of this information couldn't even be any worse. But, you know, there are a lot of Phoenix Suns fans are probably jumping for joy. Right? Chris Paul, even though he's the president of the Players Association, he's probably jumping for joy. He may be behind the scenes pushing for LeBron James to be removed for this series for at least 10 days. And he may have to go into the COVID-19 protocols. All right? That we've spoken, you know, the NBA has been very open about this. They haven't shied away from it. And the one thing that they haven't done is they haven't capitulated to any player status in this. Regardless of who you are, you have to abide by these rules. Hey, you guys, let me know what you think about this. Really big news. But hey, this is FYF Sports, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Smash the notification bell. We'll be back with more sports and news later. Hey, but until then, it's FYF Sports, and we out.
Oh, you gangsters think you tough, knowing you ain't bout that life. Okay, now we call your bluff. This time that you pay the price. Oh, you scared, huh? Police bout to read them rights. I don't wanna go to jail, man. Might not get no bail, man. You gangsters think you tough until them rollers pull them cuffs. Okay, now we call your bluff. You just be talking all that stuff. Oh, you a big dog, huh? Cut it out, boy, not even close. I don't wanna go to jail, man. I'm broke, can't get no bail, man. funny, you a trip. Talking nonsense out your lips. Neighbors, they complaining. Tell you calm it down a bit. Now you Mr. Tough Guy. Like, fuck all that shit. Until them blues come knocking, now you sounding like a bitch. Oh, you gangster, think you tough, knowing you ain't bout that life. Okay, now we call your bluff. It's time that you pay the price. Oh, you scared, huh? Police bout to read them rights. I don't wanna go to jail, man. Might not get no bail, man. Gangsta think you tough until them rollers pull them cuffs. Okay, now we call your bluff. You just be talking all that stuff. Oh, you a big dog, huh? Cut it out, boy, not even close. I don't wanna go to jail, man. I'm broke, can't get no bail, man.
Oh man, hey, that's enough for LB for the. Hey, that's enough for LB for the day, man.